Hey guys, how's it going? Andrew here, Enough Said Cards on Wednesday evening. Hope you're all doing well. I have one card to show you tonight, and it's a card that I am really excited about. Really excited to show it to you. And I feel like I say that a lot in my videos, but this card truly is a Grail card for me. Something that I never thought I'd be able to own, but I was able to acquire it a couple weeks ago. And I'm going to tell you how I got it. I'm going to show you the card, tell you about it, and then tell you how I was able to get it. And this is it. This is a 1903 Bryce Williams Company Cy Young, the E107 set. And as you can see, it's a SGC 1. And there's the back. It says one of 150 prominent baseball players. And obviously, there's some paper loss there and some pretty significant damage on the side, on the edge there on the right. But this is a very tough card. I'm going to tell you about the card, tell you about the set, tell you how I was able to acquire this card. The set was issued in 1903 and 1904, actually. It says 1903 on the slab, but it was 1903 to 1904 by the Bryce Williams Candy Company, which was in Oxford, Pennsylvania. And it's a really rare set. There's 160 what are considered Type 1 cards in the set, including variations. There's also Type 2s, but those are exceedingly rare. I'm not even going to talk about those. And this is a pretty early card of Cy Young's. It's not actually his rookie card. He had a card in 1893 from the Just So tobacco set, which I think would be considered his rookie card. There may be one of those in existence. You can, if you're interested, Google it. Just So tobacco. That's JUSTSO, 2 words, tobacco, and see what that card looks like. It's pretty awesome. But like I said, maybe one of those. And actually, while I'm talking about Cy Young cards, I just wanted to give a shout out to Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards, who I think either earlier today or yesterday posted a video in which he shows his collection of different Cy Young cards, which is a great video, so go check that out. Anyhow, like I said, this is a really rare set from 1903 to 1904. 160 Type 1 cards in the set. No card that I'm aware of has greater than 20 known examples. A lot of them have less than 10, and some only a handful. Commons from this set very frequently go for over $1,000. Not easy to get. There are some on eBay. Actually, there's another amazingly Cy Young on eBay right now. You can go take a look at that. But there's a total of, I think, 14 graded Cy Youngs, including this one. 3 by PSA and about 11 by SGC. SGC's pop report is a little bit funky, but I think 11. And I'm going to give you some more details about the set and about this card a little later in the video, but just wanted to also touch briefly on how I was able to get this card. Late last year, I became aware that a friend of mine was considering buying a complete set of the E107 set. I believe his set, which he did purchase, has 159 of the 160 cards. The one that's missing, I think, has one example, and I've never even seen an image of it. But he does believe that it exists. Anyhow, he has 159 of the 160, which is the most complete set and the only set. So I became aware that he may be trying to purchase this set. All the cards were raw, and a couple months later, I found out that it was now at that point likely that he was going to buy the set, and I kind of mentioned offhandedly that if he gets the Cy Young, because he already had a Cy Young in his collection. And I said, if the Cy Young in the set is low grade and you decide you want to move it, I might be interested in it. So just kind of offhanded remark. Um, and he acquired the set. He let me know that he was going to be trying to move the doubles that he had. He had doubles of several of the big cards: Honus Wagner, Cy Young, Rube Waddell, I think, and all of the doubles are going to be auctioned off. But I was able to work out a deal to acquire the Young from him, and I'm just totally thrilled to have this card in my collection. I never thought I would be able to have this, as a pre-war Red Sox collector, among other things. But I've always collected pre-war Red Sox. This is just, something that is really cool to me. And if the image looks familiar, it is because the same image was later used in the T206 set. So there's the T206 Young portrait. And let's see. So my friend that bought the set, he actually, for those of you that are interested in seeing the set, he posted images of all the cards on Net54. So for those of you that are familiar with Net54, it's an online forum that focuses on pre-war cards. If you go on the main page and search for E107, you'll be able to find his thread that he started that shows all the cards. But when I became aware that I would have the opportunity possibly to buy this card, I realized that the only way I was going to be able to get it was going to be to sell a bunch of cards, which I don't typically do, or I haven't typically done in the past. But earlier this year, I kind of assessed my collection. I'm gonna actually make a video about this and talk about how my collection has changed and how I would move some things to acquire other things that were more important to me. But I did have to sell a bunch of stuff to be able to buy this. I sold some stuff in a Facebook group that I'm in, some stuff I sold on Net54. I actually set up at a show. Kind of went through my stuff and had to prioritize, stuff that was replaceable, stuff that I didn't care as much about, and was able to make a deal for the card. Sometimes when something comes up that you're not going to get an opportunity to purchase again, and I didn't feel like I would ever have a realistic opportunity to get this again, I had to kind of it felt like I had to do everything that I could to get it, and thankfully was able to. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the set itself, for those of you that are interested in that. This is considered to be the first major comprehensive set of the 20th century, and really the biggest set since Old Judges were made in the late 1880s. So the Old Judges were, I think 1887, 1888, and then there was a gap between that and this, set which came out in 1903 and 1904. There were some sets in between them, but really not major sets. There was like the N300 Mayo cut plug set in 1895, which I think is a 40 card set, and some other smaller ones, but this was really the first major set. There also was the W600 Sporting Life set, which were cabinet-sized cards that came out, I think, starting in 1902. Those weren't traditional sized cards. Some awesome cards in that set, but this is really kind of considered to be the first major set of the 20th century. Then there was, another gap after this set, really until T206s came out in 1909. There were some other sets. The E91 Series A set, I think, came out in 1908. 1906, you have the Fan Craze cards, which were a game where all the cards came with the game. But this was a pretty major set, and there's a lot of Hall of Fame rookies in this set. Some of the bigger cards are Honus Wagner and Christy Mathewson are probably the two biggest cards in the set, followed by the Cy Young. It's significant for a lot of reasons. 1903 also was the year of the first World Series. between the Pirates and the Red Sox, and incidentally, Cy Young threw the first pitch ever in a World Series game. Um, so a pretty important set if you're into early 20th century sets, pre-war sets. There's a couple different variations on the back. A lot of them that you see will have blank backs, and then there's this back, which is the 150 subjects back, and then there's a pretty rare variation, which is essentially this back, but then diagonally across in I think it's purple ink. It's an overprint that says Bryce Williams Company. You don't see too many of those. A lot of the cards in the set are, like I said, images that you'll recognize from later sets, T206, and other sets that used the Charles Conlon portraits and other famous images. The M116 Sporting Life set used a bunch of these images. And of the 160 cards in the set, and again, that's including variations, about 80% of the players you see in uniform like this, and about 20% are actually in formal attire like suits. And the Mathewson and the Wagner in particular are both in suits in the pictures in the set. And some of the other big cards in the set are Eddie Plank, Rube Waddell, Addie Joss, Chief Bender, Napoleon Lajoie, Wee Willie Keeler, and there are some others. So again, just really, I don't want to go on and on, but I'm really excited about this card. And the Bryce Williams Company that produced this set in 1903 later changed their name to the Williams Caramel Company, and produced this set in 1910, which is the E103 Williams Caramel set. And then later changed their name again to the Oxford Confectionery Company. And under that name, they produced this set, the E253 Oxford Confectionery set in 1921. And this was the last set that they would produce. So that's it, guys. E107, Bryce Williams, Cy Young. Super thrilled to add this to the collection. I have a bunch of videos that I want to make. My next video is going to be my YouTube Hall of Fame nomination video in the next couple days. Like I said, I want to do kind of a collection update video where I kind of discuss how I pared down my collection a little bit and kind of discuss that process and some other things. But for now, this is it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I will catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.